I'm Peter. What's your name?
My name is Andrea.
So you're Andrea Dettori, and you are grade 7. Hello. Could I see your ID, please? Thank you. That's a good picture.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, today, first of all, we're going to have a discussion.
Yeah.
My topic there.
Of the day. I've prepared.
And have you got a copy of this form? Can I take it?
Yes.
Thank you. And then we're going to have an interactive task. And then we're going to have a conversation on 2 subject areas which I will select.
Okay.
So we'll start with the topic, and what are we going to talk about?
Today I would like to talk about stand-up comedy.
Stand-up comedy? Wow.
Yeah.
Are you a stand-up comedian?
Unfortunately, no. Unfortunately, no. I love it, but I'm just one of the audience.
Yeah, you're a
fan.
fan.
Yeah, I'm just a fan. Okay. Stand-up comedy, as the name says, it's a comedy where a comedian talks on stage in a complete 3D way, just talking to the audience, breaking the concept of the fourth wall. So between the audience and the comedian, there is like free talking, and it's like pretty much
it has been prepared before.
Yeah. It's pretty much all prepared, but it's all talking like a monologue. So when the comedian just starts talking about making jokes about pretty much everything he prepared. So politics, social problems, pretty much everything. Have you heard of someone, for example?
Oh, it's very, very popular in the United Kingdom.
Yeah.
Most young comedians are stand-up.
Because it was born in the...
Right, and it's been exported to Italy.
Yeah. Especially in this year. So it's... I like it because it arrived in Italy pretty much during these years for the help of Filippo Giardina, which is one of the most important stand-up comedians in Italy. Do you know British or American stand-up comedians?
Yeah.
For example, like Ricky Gervais
from
England, or George Carlin from America, Louis C.K.
Have you got equally popular stand-up comedians in Italy?
No, because it's stand-up comedy. It's a way of seeing the irony that in Italy it's not so much appreciated, because we have like still this way of thinking the comedy, which is still too much related with the concept of the masks from the Latins, from the ancients. So the comedy is all based on stereotypes.
Okay.
So we don't have the culture of stand-up comedy, but it's growing.
But it's been introduced now, and it will grow and grow and grow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hope so.
So why do you like it?
I like it because, as Ricky Gervais said in lots of his stand-up comedy sessions, especially in the United States, he you just make the joke. You just don't think, or what about could be like the you don't have to think about the jokes. It's just going for it, and
it's spontaneous.
Yeah, it's more like spontaneous way of doing comedy. And as he said, it's not, he is allowed not to say sorry for what he says during the comedy, because it's comedy.
So if you want it to be offensive, it could be.
Yeah, because it's comedy. You have to take it in an ironical way to see it. You have to see it in an ironical way. And pretty much the Italian comedy, as I said, firstly, it's all based on the concept like of the masks from Latin, especially from I think it's the same in English, the Plautus. So we have a comedy, especially on films, all based on the concept of like misunderstandings, something like this.
And this is totally different to the ironic approach.
Yeah, to the ironic approach of the stand-up comedy. Because it's spontaneous, as we said. One of the most important, actually, now in Italy, for the stand-up comedy, it's a guy from Trinity.
Right.
It's not pretty much Italian. It's called Karim Musa, and he has a YouTube channel. And it's called Yotobi. It's really popular because he's trying to create like this way of watching.
Andrea, if you had the time, you could tell me a joke in Italian.
Yeah.
Okay, but thank you. We've got to move on.
Okay.
So Andrea, now we'll move on to the interactive phase. Now for the next part, I'll tell you something, then you have to ask me questions to find out more information and make comments. And you need to keep the conversation going. And after 4 minutes, I'll end the conversation. Okay, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Now many teenagers I know want to study at a university which is a long way from their home. And I think there are two sides to this.
What side are you on?
Well, personally, I left home when I was 18 and I studied 150 kilometres from my home.
Pretty much away from home.
And this is kind of what happens in the UK. The young people leave home and study at university. Now that's got advantages and disadvantages, isn't it?
So it's like standard. Do you think it's something like it's a cultural way of seeing study at the university? So you go to university to study abroad?
Well, you leave home to study at a university, not necessarily in another country. And there are certain advantages that are associated with that.
Like, for example?
Well, I think you learn very quickly to organise yourself, to become independent. You have to look after yourself, and there are other things too that you perhaps learn.
Do you think going abroad to study, going to university in another part of your country is something for everyone?
I don't know. It's certainly a custom. It's traditional to do so in the UK. I'm not too sure whether in Italy or other countries it is seen in the same light.
Yeah, we see it in a pretty much another way. Like we have the other another way of thinking. It's called in Italy. It's like fuga di cervelli because it's like brains. It means like brains going away from their cities. So it's like in Italy, it's like way to say that an important part of teenagers are like going away to study, and it's something seen in pretty much in a good but also bad, especially bad way of studying. Yeah, because there's this way of thinking that it's not always good to go away from home to study. You just could stay here.
I don't think English students would buy into that.
Absolutely. I'm not also into that because I think it would be more interesting to study abroad. What do you think about this way of into?
I think there are advantages with studying at home.
Yeah, like being at home, studying in a place you know. But do you think it's more interesting, like to go away from your home, have new experiences?
Certainly.
Yeah.
It's also more expensive.
Yeah, a lot. That's another discussion about what makes the way of seeing in Italy ongoing abroad to study. The fact that it's a lot expensive in university to study in university, especially in Italy.
Okay, thank you, Andrea. Thank you. Now let's talk about something different. And first of all, let's talk about national local produce and products. What is this area of Italy famous for?
Well, we're in South Italy. We're famous, I think, worldwide for our productions of food. Like pretty much.
So which food is grown here in southern Italy?
I think the most known and the most exported food of South Italy, especially in Naples, it's the mozzarella. It's mozzarella cheese. It's famous all over the world and was born here from it's an old Roman recipe.
And this is exported to other countries?
Yeah.
From Italy?
Yeah,
It's not simply reproduced produced in France or?
No, you can. You can try to do it, but it's something like I think it's most based on the environment. So it changes also the taste on the environment, on where you are. And another typical product, for food product, for example, we have from Naples are the tomatoes. Are well known because the earth, the soil, is very rich from the volcanic ashes.
Right.
So we have this very rich terrain growing tomatoes with an extra flavor.
And this is again exported and perhaps
Yeah.
to other parts of Italy as well.
Yeah, it's exported to other parts of Italy, and it's been made like famous for its good taste. Have you ever do you know the difference between like the mozzarella of Naples and of the other parts of Italy? Have you ever eaten like?
Oh, well, I've eaten mozzarella. Yes. Is it different in different parts of Italy, or?
Yeah, because it's just different way of working the milk. For example, like we use to create the mozzarella, we use the milk from buffaloes to create mozzarella. But for example, in other parts of Italy, like for example, more south of Italy, like Puglia, they used to create mozzarella also using milk cow, and it makes more like a soft flavor.
Okay. Well, one of the reasons I'm asking you, Andrea, is if I haven't got a lot of time in Italy, I'm going home soon, but if I did have time, I'd like to buy something, sample something that I could take home. Would you have any suggestions about that? Things that I could...
Something you could take home.
I can't take tomatoes or...
Yeah.
So let's produce something that is locally produced.
Maybe you could take like also of limoncello, which is a well-known drink.
Again, that's locally produced.
Yeah, it's almost locally produced near the Naples area, and it's like a bittersweet alcoholic drink that you can have after the sweets during lunch.
I recommend that.
Yeah.
Thank you. Now, let's talk about early memories. Now, Andrea, if you could go back to an earlier time in your life, which period would you choose?
I don't know. I would like to choose maybe the first years of my kindergarten school.
Right. Tell me about the kind of things you used to do when you were at kindergarten.
What I used to do, I think pretty much things always like the kids do all over the world, just like going with friends out, playing football, just like not thinking about what life could serve to me now. And I think this is the most important part for a little kid to live his life, the freedom. Or not thinking to the future. It's the most important thing for me. I would like to.
And did you used to play with your brothers and sisters rather with friends when you were?
Yeah, especially with friends because I don't have brothers or sisters. No. So I used to play a lot with my friends, especially during the hours after school. Right. There is a place near my old school. And it was called Collina di Posillipo, where there are lots of places where you can play football, and that was like the most important moment.
And this was a special time for you?
Yeah, it was the most special time for me because it was like the competition of playing football like as a kid. And it's something like I will remember.
So these are happy memories.
Yeah.
Okay, Andrea, thank you very much. We finished the exam. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye-bye.